Everybody, good to see you. Oh, no, not that way. There we go. Hi, everyone. Somebody call police, so yeah. That's one of my favorite songs. I love the concept of having an ass so fat that people gotta call cops on you. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Soleil. I know that most of you guys are returning visitors, so you already knew that. If this is your first time here, hi, I am Mambo Soleil. I am Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour. I am the founder and look at my little cute pumpkin candles that I'm using tonight. I'm the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program, and I'm your weekly reader. The weekly energy reading is a reading that I give every Sunday, sometimes on Mondays, where I come through and I just get collective messages for the collective, just so that we understand what is ahead of us. Dulcinea said we made it. I don't know if you mean made it to the live or just made it through the week, because girl, this was a trying week, wasn't it? I don't know about y'all, but this was a very interesting week for me, full of revelation. What I will say is this. I think some of you guys have heard me get on here before and say that clairvoyance is not my strongest clair. But it's really heightened this winter. I think it's a combination of the snow. I think it's a combination of rest. I think it's a combination of a lot of things for me. But yeah, I'm seeing shit and I'm not used to that. Like, it's not my strongest clair. But I'm excited. I'm excited that this is something that's happening for me. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. If you are here because you saw me post in a group that I will be taking questions from the audience, I absolutely will be. But that typically happens after the live is over. So if you're here specifically to get a question answered, my request of you is that you exercise patience and that you wait until the collective readings are done, and then I'm happy to answer questions from the audience. Cash App and PayPal information are scrolling below. Love offerings are not required to get a question answered, but they are helpful and they are appreciated. They just show gratitude for the service that I provide. So yeah, give me 1 second. You know, I gotta light my Paulo before we get ready. I also forgot to message people so that they can join us. So if you give me 1 moment, I will quickly, very, very quickly and briefly share this link with the group. Y'all, YouTube really does not play about striking people's channel for playing music. I played in the last live like maybe 30 seconds, like all of 30 seconds of an Anderson .Paak song, Anderson .Paak and Freddie Gibbs. You guys have probably heard me play that particular song before. But yeah, girl, they strike my channel. And they demonetized my video, which is interesting because my channel's not monetized yet, but okay, you know, to each their own. But yeah, waking up to that email this morning was funny. You know, getting a video email saying that your video has been demonetized, and it's like, bitch, I'm not monetized. What are you like? What kind of punishment is that when I don't? We're taking away the thing that you don't have. All right, bitch. Okay, that's rock out. Go off. Oh, YouTube is funny. Let me not talk shit, because I do plan on being monetized at some point. It was hilarious. So the moral of the story is make sure you don't play more than 20 seconds of a song, because they will demonetize you even if you are not monetized, which I find hilarious. All right, so we can go ahead and get into it. Let me say my hellos. Hi, Miss Renee. Hi, Dulcinea. Hi, Venus. For those rest of you who are watching, go ahead and hit the scale emojis. Let me know you're here so I can give you your hellos. We'll go ahead and jump into the reading for the week now. I'm going to use tried and true. I'm going to use Afro Anime I feel like I use it all the time, and I do. Remember when I used to talk shit about this deck? Remember when I used to complain about it a lot? And now it's the first one that I reach for, which is funny. Let's get into it. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need from you at this time? What wisdom do you want to pour over the collective? Those who are watching this video, those who will watch this video on replay. What can you tell us about the lessons, blessings, insights, challenges, breakthroughs we will experience over the next 7 to 10 days? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and our habits during the week of January 27th leading into February 2nd so that we can have a healing and helpful experience as opposed to a harmful one. Okay, I'm just going to let it fall. I'm just going to let it fall. Hey, Sinidra. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany, you're becoming a regular. It's good to see you every week. Hey, Tori. Hey, Ami ASMR. Card that fell out and was literally fighting to fall out. As I was showing, 10 of Wands. I'm getting 2 energies from this card. One is some of y'all are exhausted. Just go to sleep. Take the rest. We are in early winter. Or not early, but midwinter. You're supposed to be exhausted. You're supposed to be rested. Give yourself an opportunity to rest so that you can tackle the rest of the year ahead of you, right? We know that the idea that this is a new year already, January 1st, is capitalistic. We honor it in Hoodoo because our ancestors followed it. But this is not the new year. The new year is not for another month and a half. So if you feel exhausted, don't fight that. Rest. But the other thing that I'm getting from the 10 of Wands is everything don't belong to you. Everything is not your burden. Everything is not your responsibility. Allow yourself to be very discerning and to a certain degree kind of stuck up about what you involve yourself in. You don't have to be involved in every mess. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to save everybody. A lot of the stuff that is on our shoulders in this moment really don't belong to us. I'm not going to go there. But especially if people are trying to blame you for their feelings, especially if people are trying to force you into taking accountability for things that you should not have to be accountable for, just don't, because that will only lead to burden on you. That makes it harder for you to be responsible for the things that you are responsible for, right? We know that 10s represent the last thing you need to embrace and learn before you step into a new chapter, right? So as we prepare for the start of this new year, as we tackle the things that we have on our vision boards and on our to-do list for 2025, you have to start giving yourself permission to let certain things go. Because a lot of what you guys have on your shoulders and on your plate are just distractions. They are not your responsibility. They don't belong to you, right? And it's good that this message is coming up. I'm going to pull clarifiers over one of these cards really quickly. What wisdom does the Tower have for us? What wisdom does the Tower have for us? Now, I think that this message around leaving it alone is coming up because some of you guys are going to find yourself in a Tower moment because you're worried about other people's business. You're putting yourself in fights that don't belong to you. You're making yourself responsible for the maintenance of somebody else's reputation, somebody else's well-being, when you are not responsible for other grown adults. That is only going to lead to you being worn out and losing out on a blessing. And I'll get to that in a minute. But we have the Queen of Cups. Hey, Martius. Hey, Misha. Very first card, Queen of Cups. If it's not nourishing you, if it's not making you whole, if it's not bringing you to a place of balance and healing so that you can then heal other people, it shouldn't be a concern of yours, right? So again, going back to this 10 of Wands that fell out. If things are draining you, if you are being stretched thin, If you are talking to people and all they do is complain and then you get off the phone and you feel worn out. If there are people in your life that claim to love you and when you try to give them feedback, they, throw jabs, underhanded, passive aggressive comments, and that hurts your heart. Let it go. Anything that is draining you, let it go because you need your emotional stability and your emotional health. You need that more than anything right now. Because in order for you to take on the rest of the year and navigate the responsibilities for the rest of the year and nurture the people that depend on you, because everybody is not your dependent. And we'll talk about that later, right? In order for you to have the capacity for those things, you have to let some of the bullshit go, right? Here's the thing. I learned the hard, I'm not going to go there. Some people have a misconception that strength is about who can, nobody ever texts me or calls me. I texted my little sister an hour and a half ago. Now she's texting me back while I'm on live. I'm going to ignore it. If anybody knows how to unsync your iPhone messages from your MacBook, please let me know, because that shit is so distracting for me. But anyway, there are a lot of people in your world who think that the person that can say the most hurtful thing, the person that can scream the loudest, the person that can manipulate people the most, that those are the strongest people. Strength is authenticity. Strength is being able to navigate in your own way. Strength is knowing who you are and not violating yourself or your principles in order to show off for another person, right? So a lot of the things that you need to be doing right now to take care of yourself, they may not look impressive to other people. They may actually make you look lazy. Telling somebody that you're sleeping 9 hours a day in an environment where people glorify only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, that may make you look lazy to somebody else. But it's what you authentically need, and it's what's going to strengthen you. So this is very much an energy where you pay attention to what makes you strong, right? Because some of the things that people are trying to force you into doing to show and prove yourself to them, they are only draining you, making you weaker, stealing your energy. Strength also is what's going to allow you to walk away from situations that are no longer serving you and that are draining your heart energy, okay? And that's why I'm talking about this Queen of Cups. If it's not healing you, it's hurting you. If it's not healing you, it's most likely harming you, right? So sitting back and and this is something that women do a lot, or female identified people who are tapped into their feminine. We get so wrapped up in the understanding that sacrifice is a sign of strength that we literally put ourselves up on a platter to be betrayed and taken advantage of. Sometimes strength is walking away and avoiding the argument. A lot of times strength is disengaging from harmful shit instead of forcing yourself to put up with it because you're trying to prove something to someone else, okay? So this is a week where we get really, really clear on what our needs are so that we can take good care of ourselves. Now, is there risk involved in that? Absolutely. But with high risk comes high reward, right? Full card is coming up to say that you need to take a different path. And you need to trust your journey to teach you things so that you don't find yourself in the same situation over and over again. This is about you going down a road that you may not have traveled before. But if you allow yourself to do it, and you allow yourself to be present, and you allow yourself to learn along the way, you will be gifted with so much wisdom, knowledge, and bounty that you will be forever grateful. Not only will you be grateful for what you learn, but this will strengthen your confidence in a way that will not ever allow you to let people play about you, that will never allow you to have people talk you into believing that you completing their work and you fulfilling their vision is somehow better or more important than what you need, right? Queen of Wands is emotional confidence. She understands her worthiness. She not only is gleeful about her position on the throne, but she will laugh in the face of any other bitch that thinks that they deserve it, right? All of the things that have set you up to be overworked and overburdened, taken advantage of, right? Gaslit into believing that you should be accountable for other people's actions, gaslit into believing that you should cower in situations where you deserve to take up space. All of that comes at the expense of you not having good emotional confidence. So there's no judgment around not having it, because a lot of times when we lack emotional confidence, it's a result of our environment. So change your environment. Take some risks, shake things up, move differently. Be comfortable with traveling alone. Because here's the problem. A lot of you guys are taking abuse, dealing with sacrifices that you should not have to, overburdening yourself because you're afraid to move and walk alone. Where if you let yourself move and walk alone, not only will you develop strength and a sense of authenticity, your emotional confidence will make it so that whether you are alone or in a room of 50 people, you deeply understand your worth. Here's the thing. Whatever you are being asked to release and to let go of, whoever you are being told to walk away from, you're being told to walk away so that you can avoid a tower moment. Because if you continue to stay, if you continue to let this environment or these people have access to you to get into your head, it's only going to result in a tower moment. And the tower moment comes because instead of you understanding Two of Pentacles, that this situation has had you on a tightrope, it's had you stretched out and confused, and that you need to exercise better boundaries and balance, right? If you avoid this lesson about boundaries and balance, it will only put you in a position where you end up seeing the seeds you've planted go to waste. So wait, am I confusing myself? Oh no, that's the right card. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse is bad investment. Stop making a bad investment in other people. Focus on yourself. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Take care of your health. Make sure your emotional needs are met. Any environment where your emotional needs are not only being deprioritized but being violated is not an environment that you should be giving attention to right now. If anything, you need to figure out a way to get your ass out of it. How can you walk away from spaces where you are not being treated kindly? How can you release the spaces in which you can't? Not only are you not being nurtured, but you're not being allowed to nurture yourself. You set a boundary, somebody shits on it. You tell somebody not to spread your business, they don't even get off the phone with you. They texting a bitch while they on the phone with you, right? Stop putting yourself in spaces where you are not nurtured and taken care of. Heed this warning now, because avoiding it and continuing to think that taking abuse and overwork is strength is only going to lead to you being in a tower moment. Hold your boundaries, okay? That is the collective general message for this week. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Mazone. I'm sorry. Hey, Mazone. See, y'all be coming on here with y'all legal names. Hey, Mazone. Hey, Bertal. It's good to see both of you. So I want to do money, but I feel like I should do love next. This damn pumpkin candle. I hear you there. Let's do love next. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about love, relationship, and matters of the heart as we go into the week of January 27th and February, ending February 2nd? What wisdom do we need to take heed to? What is our heart trying to tell us that we can't normally hear? That is a beautiful question. What do we need to be present to at this time? What will help us have the experiences of love and to let others experience us in love in the ways we would like? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Misha, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And especially like when I'm real tired and I'm about to text one of my godchildren, I'll forget that I have their legal names in my phone, and I'll just be searching. It happens a lot with Lovana. I'll be sitting there searching, like, oh, I just texted her. Why can't I find her number? And then I have to remember that you gotta look her legal name up. You gotta look her up by the name her mama gave her. I also think it has a lot to do with the fact that I feel very like, one moment I feel like a 12-year-old and I can act like a 12-year-old, and the next moment I feel like an 80-year-old woman. And that inability to remember people's names makes me feel very grandmotherly at times. But all right, so let's see what's in store for us as it relates to love over this next week. Oh, that tower keep coming up. You know what? I usually don't do this. I've been doing these readings for 4 years straight, and you guys know I usually don't do this. But I'm going to reshuffle with a different deck, because I'm going to be honest. Typically, when the same cards come up over and over like that again, it's because the deck is tired, and I've been using her all day. So we'll use Quirky. I have not used Quirky in a minute, so she should be well rested. Oh, and for those of you who talk shit about me, because I give my decks genders and I talk about their energy, you can eat something that begins with D and ends with ick. And here's why I say that. I've been doing this work long enough to know that different people have different ways that their spirits show up for them. If objects don't have energy for you, that's great. They have energy for me. If you don't experience energies as gendered or having a duality, awesome. I experienced that. Get off my beginning with D, ending with ick, okay? Spirits show up differently for different spiritualists, depending on your bloodline, depending on your teachings, depending on a lot of things. So just because that's not how it goes for you, don't mean that that's something's wrong with how I do it. And I wouldn't have the repeat business that I do if I wasn't good at what I do. So worry about yourself. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits who walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom does this collective need at this time about love, romance, and matters of the heart? Who do they need to be, and what do they need to see about themselves, environment, and habits that will allow them to have the experiences of love and be experienced by those they love in the ways they want? If there are any obstacles, breakthroughs, deficits, anything coming their way, please give us warning and wisdom at this time. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I've been feeling like a tower is going to fall soon. Girl, unless the spirits are telling you that directly, be careful, because sometimes we be calling in shit that don't belong to us. And you see I switched decks, right? So let that be a lesson to you guys. If you are, guys, again, people can talk mess because I say that my decks have energy, but I've never been wrong. Typically, when I get the same message over and over like that from one deck, it is because that deck is tired. So if we get the same kind of energy from this new deck, then we'll know that it wasn't a mistake. But like, and you guys heard me say before I pulled that I've been pulling Afro anime over and over and over again all the time. You right, baby. So you're right. You're absolutely right, Batal, because the tower came up again, and this is a completely different deck. This is a message that is primarily for the people that are dating, but this can be for somebody in a relationship. But it's primarily for the people that are dating. I literally just had this conversation with someone earlier today. We shouldn't take our blessings and our gifts for granted, period, Because when we do that, it shows up as ingratitude, and spirit won't know to give us more of the things that we actually are grateful for. Another reason why we shouldn't take our positives and our blessings for granted, especially if we are in the dating world, is because just because you not seeing who you are doesn't mean that other people don't see who you are. And it does not stop people from being jealous of you. Yes, potential romantic partners can be jealous. Okay? That is a thing. It's a thing that happens and it is real. And why is this coming up? There are some of you guys who are Queen of Pentacles. You attract very easily. Your world is very blessed. People fuck with you heavy. You have a beautiful balance of work and life. Career is good. Life is even better. People love you, right? And you are deeply tapped into your body. You are beautiful and, dare I say, sexy and sensual in a way that you don't even trip off of, but other people do, right? And so, yes, Queen of Pentacles can easily take how blessed she is for granted because it's just normal for her, right? Look at this reputation. She's just sitting here in her beautiful gown, holding her baby and smiling, right? This is just her life. But for other people who may not know how to have what you have, or who may never have the blessings that you have, it makes them jealous. It'll make them jealous. Now, there's two things coming up about this. There's one, the warning about as you are dating, as you start to see this dynamic of people trying to pull you down or bring you down to size, let that be a reason for you to walk away from them. I encountered this when I first moved to Atlanta. Like the amount of broke niggas who would lie about what they had only to go on a date with me and then see that I was a real deal and then try to do little weirdo shit to cut me down to size. That's why I was letting niggas go left and right when I first got here, because we're not doing that, right? But these are the things you have to be aware of. Seven of Wands only comes up when you are elevating and somebody wants to cut you down to size. They think you don't deserve what you have. They feel like they are entitled to what you have. They don't even want what you have. They just don't want you to have what you have, right? So you have to defend yourself, okay? Be very, very careful. Again, this is coming up in a love reading for two reasons. A, don't let people cut you down to size. There's nothing cute about that. Negging somebody that you call yourself being attracted to and dating is fucking weird. But another reason why this is coming up is because some of you guys may be entering a new relationship. And the people around you who are used to you being single, right? They may not be comfortable with the fact that they don't have access to you as much as they used to. They may not be used to seeing you light up and talk from a place of love. Y'all ever see somebody when they first fall in love, how cute that shit is? How fucking adorable they are? How they're always glowing and shit? Finding reasons to bring their new boyfriend or girlfriend into the conversation? You trying to have breakfast with this motherfucker, you passing the ketchup for their fucking hash browns. Oh, Susan loves ketchup. It's like, nigga, that's not funny. But they're new in love, right? If miserable bitches can't handle that. Miserable bitches do not like that shit, right? So if you are entering a new relationship, give yourself permission to be slow with who you share that with. Because there may be people around you who go out of their way to put doubt in your mind about this new relationship. And here's the thing. This is a new venture. This is a new journey. You need to have your path clear, right? You are entering this new relationship with someone else. Everybody else's opinions really don't even matter like that, okay? So be careful, because here's the thing. Tower that you could have easily saved yourself from. When the tower is in reverse, it's like just... So when it's upright, it's like chaos that's meant to teach you something about something you were trying to grasp onto and make permanent that wasn't supposed to be permanent. When it's in reverse, it's like, bitch, you just welcome this chaos into your house for no reason. So now you just got hurt, right? Be careful. You don't have to talk all the goddamn time. If there's one thing that people need to learn from this winter, it's how to shut the fuck up. And as you are dating, keep the joys of your relationship to yourself. Because the last thing you need is for this secret hater to come out of nowhere and harsh your mellow. And what's one thing I always say about the Seven of Wands? It is a secret hater. You discover that this person doesn't want to see you win in the process. You were thinking that they had it out. They were on your side, that they wanted you to fall in love. Be careful, because this is a really shitty way to find out that they are actually miserable, and then misery loves company, all right? Two of Pentacles. You may not be used to keeping your business away from this person, and it may make you feel like you're very stretched thin at first. You're actually used to talking about all your business to this person, and it will feel a little bit like a burden that you're trying to figure things out on your own. But here's the thing. You need to figure out how to do that anyway, so you might as well go ahead and have that beginning now. Have it now, before the tower falls apart. Okay? So 2 main messages out of this. See yourself for who you are. Take inventory of your blessings. Because one of the consequences of not taking inventory of our blessings is, I already talked about, spirit will stop giving you things because they don't know what to give you because you're not expressing gratitude. But then the other deficit is you don't know your blessings. So then other people will try to take your blessings and steal it from you because you're not putting value into it. Okay? Be mindful of your blessings, but also if you are one of these people that is either in a new relationship or you're trying to mend and heal the current relationship that you are in, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to nobody. Now is not the time to find out where the secret haters lie. It's only going to break your heart and cause disruption. Don't talk about your love life with everybody. If you really want this to work, if you really want to see if this is something that's viable, go ahead and be silent. There was a meme I saw, and I really wish I remember who the quote was from, but it was a quote, and it said, the reason why your garden can't grow is because every time a rose sprouts, you cut it, and then you run to show it to other people for validation. If you really want love, and you really want your blossoming relationship to work, if you really want to heal your romance that you're trying to work through right now, stop cutting off every rose and running to other people to show it to them. Your love should be about the validation between you and that other person, not the external validation of everybody else. Okay? That's very important for you guys to understand this week. Let's go into money, and then we'll wrap up with health. Whew. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need at this time about our finances, our financial health, our ability to expand with success and prosperity? Please highlight any breakthroughs, blessings, challenges, lessons we'll learn as it relates to the realm of wealth and finances in our life. Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and our habits in order to have the experiences of growth and expansion as it relates to career opportunities and money at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I see a couple more people have joined us in the room. Please say hi. Hit those scale emojis so that I can know that you're here and say hello to you. I know that you guys are watching me do the reading, but I do like it when it's interactive. So please hit the scale emojis. Say hello so I know who's here and I can say hello back. In the words of one of my favorite prophets, T-Pain, talk to me. I'll talk back. I'm in a good mood today, and I guess you guys can tell because I am being a little silly, but this is what sleep and drinking a lot of water will do for you. Oh, Lord God. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Y'all already know what card came up, and I'm not playing around. Tell us what we need to know about our finances. Tell us what we need to know about love and finances as we go into the week. What do we need to know in order to have health in our finances as well as growth? What do we need to know so that we can make sure that we're honoring our money, creating a space for more of it while honoring what we have? And your wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Zena, good to see you. Hey, Appa, good to see you. I thought about you earlier today. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. I've been talking to you all. I feel like this is a message that's been coming up for a while. It's being reiterated, with a little bit more detail. Card that fell out while I was shuffling. I'm fine. I've been working a lot late. Oh, so that's why I haven't seen you or heard from you. Okay, good. Nothing wrong with get your money. I will never tell somebody to work less. Make sure you get your money. But Queen of Cups fell out in reverse. Why is she in reverse in a finance reading? Be very, very careful about your emotional spending this week, right? Queen of Cups, when she is debilitated, she is clingy, she's codependent, she is hyper dependent on external pleasure and external validation, right? And with the Queen of Cups being in reverse, a lot of you guys are going to, rather than going within to find emotional balance, you are going to be looking outward. You're going to be looking for affirmation from other people. You're going to be looking for to soothe yourself with a thing, right? This is a cup card, so that can be alcohol or substances, but there is a tendency to be wasteful with your money this week because you are trying to numb and you are trying to avoid your feelings. Okay, so be very, very careful, because what the spread is telling me and what I know from the Queen of Cups being in reverse is whatever you waste trying to fill a hole in your heart, you're not going to get it back, and that hole will still be there. So rather than trying to soothe yourself with things, work on emotional confidence, build up strength. Some of you guys are not standing up for yourself. The Queen of Wands, very much like her husband, has no problem with standing up for herself. She's not going to let people try her. She very much cares about her reputation. So rather than taking people bullying you and beating you up and going out and wasting money to make yourself feel better, figure out a way to really stand your ground when it comes to your emotions and your worthiness so that you don't do a whole bunch of external validation, right? Or you don't seek a ton of external validation, right? Wounded warrior, this is something that's been going on for a while. You feeling worn out, you feeling tired, you feeling exhausted. Again, that's because your emotional needs are not being met. So rather than trying to soothe it with money and wasting of money, make sure that you're doing the things you need to do to protect yourself. Nine of Wands is also a card of protection, right? Are you protecting yourself? Are you holding healthy boundaries so that you don't get emotionally drained in this particular way? Stop committing to things that you don't really want to do. Stop saying things that you don't really mean or care about because you want, because you want the support or the attention of somebody that you see as powerful or in authority. Here's the thing, that works until they piss you off or you piss them off. And then you've committed to all this shit and said all this shit that you don't really mean. Be careful with your tongue. Stop speaking deficit over your life and over your wealth this week. I challenge everybody who's watching this collective reading to remove the word broke from their vocabulary for 7 days and see what happens. Be careful about how you talk about yourself, okay? Be very, very careful. Part of the reason why this discomfort around your emotional health is coming up in your reading is because you struggle with faith. And that's why you're being warned about the way that you talk about yourself and your finances. If you exercise emotional confidence, if you walk it like you talk it, if you stand in integrity and believe that your actions should always match your words and move that way, it'll be easier for you to have hope. Some of you guys are in a difficult financial situation right now, right? Money was supposed to come through and it didn't. People are playing with you at your job. Promotion has been offered to you and it's either been directly revoked or people are now playing in your face about folks for that position. Okay? Have hope. The faith of a mustard seed can do a lot. So rather than speaking deficit, rather than beating yourself up and, oh, I know things never work out for me. I knew it was too good to be true. This is my fault. Control your fucking mouth. Control your mouth this week as it relates to finances. Be very, very careful and just be prayerful. Meditate, be in reflection. Prayer and meditation will take you far this week. Be deliberate, be strategic, okay? Because here's the thing. You only make whatever this thing is that has you emotionally unstable worse by speaking doubt and confusion over it. All right? So we started with the Queen of Wands. We're ending with the Queen of Swords. The whole bottom row is a spiritual prescription. Y'all got to pray more. Y'all have to sit in meditation because half the answers you're looking for, you can't find them because you won't sit still. You won't sit still. Sit still. Listen. There's no point in asking the spirits for something if you're not going to sit down still long enough to listen and to hear it. But also, y'all don't know how bad things are because you don't sit down and write. You need to be journaling. You need to be getting your fearful thoughts out of your mind and onto paper. You also need to be budgeting. Half of you guys are running through your money because you don't budget. So anytime you feel yourself getting worked up in this frantic emotional energy, where you feel like you need a drink, where you feel like you need to go shopping, where you feel like you got to take yourself out to some dinner that you know good and damn well is too expensive and you got fucking food at home. Whatever the thing is that you are doing to soothe yourself emotionally in order to escape your emotional confusion, my across the way neighbor got a new dog and that dog is loud as fuck. That's why I keep getting distracted. Sit, be still, write about it. Write it down. There's a thing that happens to me when I journal, and I should be better about journaling. I don't journal nearly enough. But when I do journal, there's an interesting thing that happens. I write all the things that are stressing me out or causing fear in my life on paper. And then I go back and read it. And as I'm reading it, I start to have the realization, bitch, this ain't even that important. This don't even matter. Queen of Swords is amazing at exercising her boundaries and cutting away at the fat. So not only is this calling you to journal so that you can see what's stressing you out and if it is an actual worry, and if it's not a real worry, to release it. It's also calling you to look over your budget and think about the ways in which you overspend and cut away the fat. Some of you guys don't need to be ordering food 4 and 5 times a week. And then turning around and betraying yourself and complaining about being broke. See how you manifest the brokenness by giving away $300 a week or whatever it is to Uber Eats? Some of you guys don't need to go to Ulta or Sephora and buy new makeup. You haven't used the makeup that you have in your home right now. So sit with yourself, look over things, and cut away what is unnecessary. Because if you cut it away and release it, guess what? It's not going to be there to stress you. So that is the financial reading for this week. We're going to wrap up with health and wellness, and then I'll start taking questions from the audience, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, motivated ancestors. What does this collective need to know at this time about their physical, spiritual, in mental health and wellness over these next 7 to 10 days. Who do they need to be and what do they need to see about themselves, their habits, and their environments in order to have the best experience of their holistic health? What points of wisdom do you have for us at this time so that we can have a healthy body, a long life, and a pleasurable experience? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And you know what? In this season of rest and hibernation, Yapa, that's the thing that's really easy to do. Because we are more tired when we leave work than we normally are. It's dark as fuck. It's probably snowing where you are. And you probably live in an area where it's not even supposed to fucking be snowing. But it's snowing every other week, if not every week, right? And it's really, really tempting to do things like that. But again, this is why meditation is so important. Because if you can pause and see why it is you're that exhausted, and remind yourself to cook for yourself and figure out ways to have it there for you, it'll be so much more worth it. One of the things that I've been doing is a version of meal prepping where like I will just cook a big batch of like soup, right? I'll cook a huge a pot of collard greens, right? And I live alone, so I of course can't eat the whole pot of soup, but I take 3/4 of it and I freeze it, right? And that's helpful for me because then on the days where I've had like 6 or 7 readings and I'm tired and I've taught, I don't have to worry about food. I can just literally go take it out of my freezer, defrost it, microwave it, right? Um, but again, Queen of Swords, she's not only the queen of writing, she's the queen of strategy. So rather than wasting your money, figure out ways that you can strategize so that you're making the most of your money, right? It's funny you brought up being tired after work, Yapa, because that's coming up heavily in the reading. Some of you guys, there are those of us who acknowledge that we're tired because we have good connection to our full selves. We're tapped into our heart chakra. We're aware of our body, right? And we're giving ourselves the things that we need. But then there are those of us who are actively betraying the needs of our body because we're in denial, right? And how shady is it that the Seven of Swords, the Thief card, is you know who in this deck? Y'all know who that is, who it looked like. And it's right, because this man betrays us. He's manipulating us. He's doing one thing with his right hand and another with his left, right? And that's the energy of how some of us are treating ourselves and our bodies right now. We know good and damn well we're fucking tired and you won't sleep. You know good and damn well that you're stretched in and you won't stretched out and you won't ask for help. Some of you guys are so prideful that you know you need a shoulder to cry on, and rather than doing that, you'll go lock yourself in the bathroom, cry on the bathroom floor, cry in the closet. Stop that shit. Both of these cards are sandwiching the Page of Cups, which is the card of the martyr, Pisces energy. Figure out creative ways to to take care of yourself as opposed to being self-sacrificial and acting like everyone else's needs outweighs yours, right? Pisces is the sign of the martyr because they can get so wrapped up in the codependency of taking care of other people that they don't take care of themselves. Be careful. This is not a week for that. You need your energy. You need to take good care of yourself. So anything that's going to confuse you or betray you into believing that you shouldn't take good care of you, you got to release it. And this is coming up because this is going to be a week of the bullies. This is going to be the week of the children. This is going to be a week of petty disputes and arguments. It's like when this card comes up in a health reading for me, without failure, someone in my life who is emotionally immature, who struggles with emotional regulation, will pop up into my life with a whole bunch of drama and then get mad at me with my boundary setting. The way that you have to handle Five of Wands is just let them be mad. Let them be mad. But set your boundaries anyway. Because here's the thing. They were going to start the petty disputes and arguments anyway. Why do bullies bully? Because they're insecure. So whatever insecurities they have, they got to figure out a way to deal with that. They don't get to come into your world and cause disruption and confusion because they want to push off those feelings of being small on someone else. Don't let nobody do that shit to you this week. Be so wrapped up in your emotional needs and your emotional nurturing and your peace. Be so dedicated to your peace that you won't let anybody come through with their childish behavior and confuse you and throw you off kilter. This is a form of protection. See this as a form of protection, okay? Because here's the thing, another thing about this being under the Page of Cups, heart problems, heart issues, heart chakra, right? You can be totally fine and someone will come into your life with their arguments, with their disruption, with their social, emotional abuse. And then the next thing you know, your energy is drained. You're the wounded warrior. You don't have capacity to go after the stuff you were going after. You have to take time to heal from the abuse and the verbal manipulation that they brought to you. And you don't have capacity for that right now. Again, we have the Queen of Wands. She is the bitch of the, she's the bad bitch of the night. Queen of Wands is coming back up. The only reason why somebody is able to drain your energy on that energy vampire shit, the only reason why somebody is able to manipulate you into believing that you have to drop everything you're doing to pay attention to them, even if their energy is unpleasant and they're causing you harm, the only reason why somebody can get away with that is because you struggle with worthiness. So work on your worthiness journey. Worthiness has come up in every single spread tonight. Whether it's related to love, whether it's related to health, whether it's related to money, it has come up. Stop letting people play in your face. Queen of Wands values herself way too much to let somebody else talk her into believing that she's supposed to sacrifice her health, her peace, and her comfort to put up with their bullshit. Don't let nobody bullshit you this week. I see a lot of calls going to voicemail. I see a lot of unread text messages. And this being done in order to keep your health in order. Okay? So that is the health reading for this week. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Now we are going to do questions from the audience. So if you are here because you want me to answer a question, go ahead and type it out in the comments section. I will do, it's 8:23. I'll go until about 8:45 if there's enough questions for that. So go ahead and type your questions in the comments and I'll go ahead and start answering them in the order that they interest me. Again, Cash App and PayPal are scrolling below. Love offerings are not mandatory to get a question answered. They are appreciated for the energy exchange though. So go ahead and type out your questions. As you're typing out your questions, I will give you all updates. Patreon is up and running. All of the readings for fire, air, water, and earth are up for mid-month. By Friday of this coming week, and I'm going to do it before Friday because I want to do it before I take my braids down. But by Friday of this coming week, the readings for February 1st through the 15th will be up. So if you are joining the Patreon or have joined the Patreon, keep your eyes out for that. We are also doing our first Patreon exclusive class this Tuesday. It is about the spiritual burdens of being a pick-me. So we're going to talk about what a pick-me is, the kind of spiritual deficits and complications they invite in their life with that behavior, how to avoid being one. And then I'm also going to give you a really quick and dirty spell work to not only protect you from that energy, but to be able to quickly discern when you've crossed paths with that energy. So that is the first Patreon exclusive class. The February Patreon exclusive class is going to be a conjure class where I teach you all how to enchant your social media for glamour and protection. Okay? Do you have glasses on in your Cash App? Yes, I do. I have on cat eye glasses and a Burger King crown. That is an old picture and it was from a wild time. But yes, I have on a Burger King crown and glasses. What else? What other updates? 2 weeks left. 2 weeks left for the yearly forecast. If you have not booked your yearly forecast reading, please try to do so within the next 2 weeks. It will not be available after February 10th. Also, love readings are on sale until the day after Valentine's Day. So if you are in a new relationship, if you want to get a temperature check over your love life, I would encourage you to book a love and romance reading while they are 25% off. Also, the spring round of Rich Spirit will be taking place March 24th through 27th. The link for that is below. Sacred Alignment, Divine Healing Feminine Retreat in Houston, Texas. Will be taking place April 10th, I believe, or April 11th through the 13th. Links for that are below as well, okay? Alrighty, if anyone has any questions about any of those things, ask me or put your question in the chat. If I don't see your question, surely one of my godchildren will see it and they will answer. Alrighty, let's see. Let me scroll up. There's a bunch of questions tonight. Okay. You're going to have to be mad. I don't have capacity this week or for the rest of my life for bullshit. That's one thing I love about being in my 40s. I'm willing to let shit go. I'm willing to cut people off. If you are blessed to get a second or a third chance from me, you damn sure won't get a fourth. So whatever you get, whatever jollies you get from playing in my face, I hope they're worth it. Should I start focusing on my YouTube channel? My cards keep saying no. I got you, Tiffany. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, and elevated ancestors. Is this a time for Tiffany to focus on her YouTube channel? If so, what does focusing on her YouTube channel look like for her? Any wisdom sharing is deeply appreciated. Focus on it, but you shouldn't be, okay. Yes, focus on your YouTube channel, but this is a stage of planning, okay? Ace of Swords, you are still getting downloads, still getting understandings around what you even want this channel to be and look like. So it's important that you take that wisdom and figure out what it looks like in terms of operationalizing it. Now is a good time, Eight of Swords in reverse, because you don't feel as fearful about it as you have in the past, right? If this were another time, you would be so wrapped up in fear and doubt around the success of it that you would manifest failure. But you're coming out of a phase of this fear and hesitation, and that's really, really good for you. Take things slowly, right? The market, unfortunately, is oversaturated right now. So if you want your channel to be successful, you have to delve into that Capricorn energy and approach this as a business opportunity that involves planning and responsibility, okay? So the way I would summarize this is focusing on your channel, yes, but in terms of planning and development. So that way you can make sure that in this big sea of everybody doing YouTube, you don't get lost and that you are doing this in a way that sustains you. Because here's the thing, and this is wisdom that I'm pulling from the candles I talk to you. A lot of people end up abandoning their YouTube channels because they burn out. People will take on ideas that they are not fully passionate about. And then after 3 or 4 months, sometimes they can even go as far as a year, and then they just completely abandon their YouTube channels. Again, Capricorn energy as given to us through the Devil card. You want to be able to sustain throughout this, and you want to go about this in a way where you can make a business off of it. So this is going to involve some planning and some further research. So definitely focus on it, but focus on it in terms of making sure that you know what you're doing and that you're passionate about your plan. Let's see. What's the best way to deal with a narcissistic boss? I got you, Ami. Oh, Lord. Keep your mouth shut, Soleil. Yeah, sisters, angels, ascended master spirits, walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Ami need at this time about how to deal with her narcissistic boss? What is the best strategy that she should enact? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yeah, I haven't used quirky enough because she is jumpy tonight. She is hopping out like, let me tell you something. Nine of Pentacles in reverse fell out. A narcissist will fire you for challenging them. A narcissist will just to be petty and say that they did it, right? Because they don't take feedback. They see feedback as a fight. Okay? So with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, you are dealing with somebody that if you are direct with them, they will get petty and they will fire you. So they're just, spirits are being honest with you about that. As much as it would feel good to go back and forth with them, they hold your job in their hand and it's not worth it. And narcs love, a narc will fire their best employee, somebody who's actually very profitable for them, just because that employee told them that they could have done something better. I know. Okay? So prioritizing your needs at this time. And here's the thing, I'm not trying to read you, baby. This is coming up. This is the nature of the card. The only reason why you give a fuck about the fact that your boss is a narcissist is because you don't have a good work-life balance. If you had better work-life balance and you were able to leave work at work and not bring that shit home with you, it wouldn't even be phasing you. The one thing that a narcissist hates more than being told that they're wrong is knowing that they're small and they're insignificant. And that's why your work-life balance is coming in. You have to be so full and you have to be so aware of how big your world is and how much of the world is at your feet that the shit that they do doesn't bother you, okay? Hierophant. If it gets to a point where it's unbearable, take it up the ranks. Your boss has a boss. Everybody answers to somebody, okay? So if it gets to the point where they are doing things that are overt and that are HR violations, document that shit and run it up the food chain. But honestly, the best way and low-key, the only way you can survive a narcissist is by suffocating their supply. You getting upset, you going back and forth with them, you even showing on your face that they're hurting you. Feed. That's feeding them, okay? Ignore them as much as you can. Get as much joy from your life as you can because they are joyless. And then if it gets out of hand, just report it. That's the best way to deal with them. Okay. We got about 12 more minutes left. How many can you do in 12 minutes? So I feel like I can do 4. Why is my ex from 5 years ago being persistent in my dreams for the last couple of months? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. Why is Juan showing up in Dulcinia's dreams? What the fuck does he want? Why is he showing up in her dreams? What is the lesson here? What does she need to walk away with? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You are very welcome, Ami, and I'm sorry. If it's one thing that I've learned the hard way over recent years is that people don't know how to handle authority and responsibility, right? A lot of people only want to be able to call themselves bosses and I'm the CEO and so that they can hold something over other people's heads, but they're deeply unhappy people. They're deeply unhappy people. Most narcissists are fucking miserable. They will tell you that they're the best thing since sliced bread because that's what they have to say to gaslight themselves through their insecurity, but they are deeply broken people. So the more you come in that office glowing because you actually have a life, the more you piss this person off. And that's the best way to get back at them. Not letting them steal your joy. Don't argue with them. They will fire you and act like you deserve it. They're depressed, and when they're depressed, they think about you. They think about you. They think about what they lost from being with you. You never did a full cord cutting of Juan's energy in particular. So that transference of energy through dreams comes up. Um, they do miss you. I would not say reach out to him. I don't see that being a good thing. But Seven of Pentacles in reverse, they think about what they lost with you. You do represent a lot of good times for them. So there's a lot of dwelling and going over the memory. They also have a longing for you that's physical. But Five of Cups, they're depressed. They're sad. They miss you. Um, Literally crying over spilled cups. They probably have seen how beautiful you are and how far you've come, and it's just making them realize what they've missed out on. And this is something they may have said something about it to one or two people, but not a lot. But the only way that they feel comfortable with processing this is through their dreams, right? Pisces is the dreamer, Page of Cups is the dreamer, the creative, somebody who engages in escapism through the spiritual world, right? So because he's not comfortable with literally saying these things out loud, even though he feels them, it's coming up through y'all's dreams, and it's coming up strongly through y'all's dreams because the cords between you two were never cut. So that's what I'm seeing, baby. That's why he's showing up. Until you do a cord cutting, I would say, what does she need, Spirit? If you have some hyssop, make a head wash with some spring water, a little bit of hyssop, you don't need much, and some sea salt. Wash your head with that at least 3 nights in a row before you go to bed, and cover your head in white. That should help you in terms of breaking this energy where they're showing up through your dreams if you don't want them there. That's if you don't want them there. If you want them there, I'm not, we listen and we don't judge. It's literally my profession, right? Is to listen and not judge. But if you don't want them there, do the head wash. And then at some point you need to get some candles and do a cord cutting. Okay. That's my wisdom to you, Dulcinea. Let's see. Yapa wants to know if they'll get improved for the internal job transfer. Okay. So we'll do Yapa, then we'll do Misha, and then we'll do Mazone, and then we'll wrap up. Yeah, sisters, angels, descendant master spirits to walk with me. Will Yapa get this internal job transfer? Will she receive it? If so, can you give us any hints around timeline? If not, can you tell us why not? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You are always welcome, Ami. Dulcinea, if you're here, let me know if the answer I gave you resonated with you. I'm gonna let it fall since it was. I'm gonna be really honest with you, baby. I don't see it going through simply because of how competitive it is. You may have to apply for this more than once. There are a lot of people who are going after internal transfers right now, so it may not happen. King of Wands is low key. There may just be somebody else that either needs it or has a longer tenure than you do, and because of that, they get it. Three of Swords, heartbreak meant for maturation. So there is going to be a little bit of letdown in this situation. We also have the Seven of Cups, which talks about confusion around a choice that you don't understand, that improper choice that you're making in the present, and you won't understand the full reasons behind why until later. So I low-key feel like this one is not going to go through for you, and you may have to reapply. That's what I'm getting. I wish that I could have said something more positive. I apologize. But yeah, you may have to reapply again later. Let's see. Oh, Misha didn't have a question for the card. She had a question for the Patreon. Yeah. So the Patreon exclusive classes, the link goes up. So as long as you are inner circle or higher, or friendship circle or higher in terms of your tier, you do get the replay. So if you can't be there on Tuesday, Misha, you will get the replay later. That's totally fine. I just did a working and my wick went out early. Why? Okay. So we're going to wrap up with my zone. There is no happy hour reading this week because I am doing the Patreon exclusive class. So happy hour will likely, if I can't get to it this Friday instead of Wednesday, which I probably won't because my Fridays tend to be busy, then we'll just probably resume happy hour next week, okay? Ancestors, what can you tell us about why the wick went out early on my zone's work? Why did the wick burn out early? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Baby, you're exhausted. You are exhausted. I should have. My poor little Gemini. Both of my Gemini godchildren are little busybodies. You're tired. You're tired, and the candle has pulled on your energy. I'll finish with you, Zena. I was gonna wrap up after my zone, but I'll finish with you. You are worn out. You are exhausted. You need rest, right? You've been doing a lot for a lot of people. You in terms of your personal energy, you've been burning the wick at both ends, right? And you're just very, very worn out. Nigga, you need to sleep, and you need to sleep hard. And here's the thing, if you try to relight right now, the working is not going to work and you're going to be upset and sad. You're going to be hurt that it didn't go through. So long and short of it is your spirits want you to rest. They want you to regain your energy, and then you can go back to the work and see if it's appropriate to relight it. But right now your ass is tired, so go to sleep. Okay? People say your godchildren are a reflection of you, and after having godchildren for several years, I realized that. I got my babies who don't know how to stop working, and then I got my other babies who, when they go through shit, they just disappear. They just literally hide. And I'm like, okay, universe, thank you. Thank you for giving me, thank you for giving me back to myself. But yeah, okay. I feel like my love life is being attacked. Should I ignore SB or wait for him? Okay, ancestors, angels, and masters, spiritual validated ancestors. Should Xena wait for SB? Should she wait for SB? Also, she feels that her love life is being attacked. Is anybody putting any negative juju on her love life? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yeah. Let me pull one more clarifier. Hold on a second. Clarify. Knight of Wands. What do we need to know about the Knight of Wands? Be patient, baby. Be patient. You like successful men, and successful men be busy and they be irritating as fuck. They just are, right? His intentions are good, and that's what matters. So I would say wait for him and be patient. Absolutely. That's confirmed by the Temperance card. which is a card of patience, which is a card of balance and stillness, right? Being still long enough to get the messages from spirit that you need about how you're supposed to move forward, right? We also have the Knight of Wands, which tells me that he's going through a busy period. I pulled clarifiers over it because Knight of Wands could be whole energy sometimes, and I just wanted to make sure he wasn't out here, slanging dick and ignoring you, but he's not. He's busy. He's busy in a way where there's like a lot of confusion. So he doesn't really get back to people in a timely manner. That's a character deficit that he knows he has. But again, he's busy. He's Aries energy, tunnel vision, just running after shit, right? And then we have the Two of Wands. So whatever he said about wanting to move forward with you, he hasn't been lying. He's been completely genuine. So based off of this, I would say wait. I would say be patient. Be patient with him right now. That would be my advice. All right, lovelies. Only 1 minute late. I almost got out of here exactly when I said I was going to leave. Look at me getting better about time. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me. Can't wait to see you all again next week. If you are interested in joining the Patreon, the link is below. Class is Tuesday. So the class on spiritual burdens of pygmies is this Tuesday. I have not chosen the date for the protecting your social media class, but once I know it, I will put the flyer up on Patreon and I will be again advertising to everyone. Take care, and I will see you next week. Bye.